So, what happens when one of the world's most safety-focused AI companies goes toe-to-toe with the planet's most powerful military? Well, you get a massive showdown that isn't just about code or contracts. It's about trying to define the very conscience of artificial intelligence itself.
Okay, so here's the deal, plain and simple. Anthropic, a company that was literally built on the idea of developing AI safely, is now in a direct standoff with the US Pentagon. And look, this is not your average business disagreement. This is a fundamental clash over the rules for one of the most powerful technologies ever made.
And we're not just talking about a theoretical debate here. There's a reported $200 million contract hanging in the balance. It seems like the Pentagon is using this huge deal as a lever, putting some serious financial pressure on Anthropic to just get with the program. All right, so let's break down the two sides in what is truly an unprecedented clash of technology and tactics. In one corner, you've got Anthropic. Now, these guys aren't just any AI lab. They're an AI safety lab. They're the creators of the model Claude, and their whole mission is about building responsible AI. In fact, the company was founded by former OpenAI employees specifically because of safety concerns. And then, in the other corner, you have the Pentagon, the heart of the US Department of Defense, who feels an urgent need for a tech advantage in what's becoming a new global arms race. It's the classic innovator versus institution showdown.
And you should know this isn't just about Anthropic. The Pentagon is reportedly making similar demands all across the AI industry. They're talking to the big players like OpenAI, Google, and even xAI. Now, while some have apparently been a bit more flexible, it's Anthropic's very public resistance that has really turned them into the flashpoint for this entire debate. So, what is the Pentagon actually demanding? What's the big hangup? Well, it all comes down to a single, really critical phrase that has kicked off this whole firestorm. That's it, just 3 words, all lawful purposes. The Pentagon wants AI companies to agree that their technology can be used for anything the US military considers legal. I mean, it sounds simple enough, right? But that vagueness is exactly the problem. In a military context, the word lawful can cover a huge, and let's be honest, highly controversial range of actions.
So, in response to that, Anthropic is drawing a very clear line in the sand. They're defining their own ethical boundaries, and it doesn't matter what a contract might say.
A spokesperson for Anthropic really laid it out, saying the company has hard limits. Specifically, they will not allow their AI, Claude, to be used for developing fully autonomous weapons or for mass domestic surveillance. For them, these are the non-negotiable red lines.
But, this conflict didn't just pop up out of nowhere. To really get how we ended up at this tipping point, you gotta look at the recent and pretty controversial history between these two.
So this whole story really exploded into the open in January of 2024. That's when the Wall Street Journal first reported a major disagreement between Anthropic and DoD officials. And things escalated fast. Just 1 month later, Axios broke the news that that massive $200 million contract was now officially on the chopping block. But here's where the story takes a really explosive turn. The Wall Street Journal also reported a pretty stunning claim that Anthropic's AI, Claude, had already been used in a U.S. military operation to help capture Venezuela's then-president Nicolás Maduro. Now, Anthropic says they haven't discussed specific operations, but you can imagine that this report just adds a whole other layer of public scrutiny and controversy to these negotiations. When you step back, you can see this one fight points to a much bigger, much more unsettled future for AI. It's forcing a global conversation about the core dilemma right at the heart of this technology. So when you strip it all away, this conflict really boils down to 3 powerful competing forces. You've got the military's completely legitimate need for the best technology to ensure national security. Then you have the AI creators' ethical red lines. And stuck right in the middle is this high-stakes negotiation that could end up setting the precedent for the entire industry.
And that leaves us all with the ultimate question, one that goes way beyond this single contract. When a technology becomes this powerful, who gets to decide its moral compass? Is it the people who build it, or is it the people who wield it? That's a question we all need to start thinking about.